What's going on, guys? This is John from Texas Wiles.
Rooster from Rooster Outdoors.
And you are listening to the Wiley Rooster Boys Outdoor Podcast.
Hey, stranger, what's up?
Don't I know you? I've been here before, right? I think I have.
I think you have. It's been
Briefly.
a long time, man.
A little bit.
Hey, we got Set That Hook watching. What's up, brother?
What's going on, man?
What's up, man?
Well, out of the gate, all you guys, all our subscribers, all the listeners and supporters and whatnot, I do want to apologize. I have had to take a step back from social, or from, well, I guess social, you should say that too, but YouTube and podcasting and stuff like that. As you all know, we had our twin boys back in November. You kind of see them right there. I mean, not the best. You're looking at it through a camera on a phone, and I'm gonna tell you what, twins, they take up a lot of time. They take up a lot of energy, and I would not trade that for the world. And that's why I've decided to take a step back from everything, because I'm really enjoying this family time, getting to watch these boys develop and stuff like that. And I'm trying to cherish every minute that I can. So because of all that, I've kind of left Rooster high and dry, and I apologize about that. But we have a giveaway to do, and it's that Shea Bird spinning combo. I don't have the picture of it.
Absolutely. I'll throw it up real quick for us.
There she is. So by the end of this episode, those of you who have entered into that giveaway, rest assured, we have not forgot you. I kind of just, stepped away for a little bit, but I want to get back on here and make right on what we said we were going to do and give somebody a combo. So That's where we're at right now.
Absolutely. We also got old Bullets and Matthew Jesse in here. What's up, guys? And yeah, he says that's very understandable. Family comes first. That's right. I mean, that's how it is. It goes without saying. I mean, dude, I hope you can't hear my dogs. They're wrestling in the back.
A little bit, but hey, usually on episodes prior, you could hear my dogs going after the pig or something outside. So
yeah,
it happens.
Yeah.
So what's been going on, man? What have I missed?
What's that?
So what's been going on, man? What have I missed?
Dude, not a lot. We had a few good things on. We had Frankie back on. Had some other things, dude. We were going to have like Backwoods on. I had some stuff come up. Couldn't make that happen. We had Mike Slauson was going to be on. That didn't happen.
Yeah. Mike, we love you. Speaking of Mike, if you see this, Mike, I seen your old Road Glide, the new one you just bought the other day.
Oh, yeah?
I like it. I like that thing. He picked him up I think he said he went in there looking for I may be wrong. I think he said he went in there looking for a Dyna, and he ended up leaving with a Road Glide. And hey, there's nothing wrong with leaving with a Road Glide.
I got one question though. How are you going to pull that Moken on that Road Glide?
Put a hitch, baby. No, it's nice, man. I saw it's a silver one, and it's a good looking bike. I like it a lot.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I didn't realize he got a new bike. That's pretty sweet.
Well, at first I saw it on Instagram, and I thought that he I wasn't sure if he actually bought it. Mm-hmm. And I texted him, and I was like, whoa. Did you pick up a Road Glide? And he said he'd been sick and everything lately, so he hadn't really been able to enjoy it. And but now that I've seen him up at the hospital lately a lot, I've seen it up at the hospital a lot lately, I know that he's enjoying it. Because for those of you out there listening, I've been at the hospital with my wife for about the past week or so, on and off. She had, oh man, her gallbladder tried to kill her, basically. And now, man, I ain't getting no fishing in. I've kind of put the brakes on it. But my wife has been at the hospital because her gallbladder tried to kill her, and it turns out she had some, like, I'm going to butcher this, but I don't know, some kind of syndrome. But her gallbladder made some stones about the size of golf balls, blocked everything up. It's been blocked for like over a year. Been giving her problems for a long time, just not figured out what it was. And they had to go in and take it out. And it turned out to be a lot more difficult of a procedure than what it was initially thought to be. So she's still convalescing, as it were. But she's doing pretty good. She's doing a lot better.
Yeah, that's good to hear, man. That really is.
I'm just glad that now all these problems that she's had for a year, 2, 3 years, we finally figured out that it seems to be that was the problem all along. It was her gallbladder all along. So now that sucker's gone, she should be on the upswing.
That's good. That's good to hear, man. It really is. And I know she can be stubborn.
Oh, you're telling me. You're telling me. I had to pretty much hog tie her to get her to go to the hospital whenever that was last week. But it's a good thing.
Yeah. Oh, I wanted to tell you, I ain't trying to put you on the spot. I really ain't. I don't know if you were trying to advertise this, but I'm going to need a couple more bottles of that Wiley Spice.
Oh, can you see it?
No, I can't, but
right there.
Me and Jess got the bottles, and they're both already half gone.
I can get you some.
I mean, oh my God, that's so good, dude. I put it on everything from corn, chicken, pork. I put it on.
You're telling me. I made some breakfast biscuits this morning, sausage, egg, and cheese, and I use that stuff, and it's good. For those of you listening, Wiley Spice is the stuff that my wife makes. Right now we have the labels for the mild. This is the regular, the mild, but we have a hot. Rooster, tell them about that hot.
It's warm. It's warm. I didn't think it was gonna be too bad. He's like, yeah, let's try a little bit. Well, came out a little faster than I thought. I ain't gonna waste it through my mouth. It lets you know there's some heat there. I promise.
Oh yeah, and it's got an afterburn to it, man.
But it's a good heat when you cook it.
Yes.
I've noticed when I put it on the grill, it's not real spicy, but there's a little bit of heat.
Have you cooked in a cast iron with it yet?
Not a cast iron.
Make sure you got that vent hood going. That'll burn your eyes out.
Oh yeah.
It'll take your breath away, burn your eyes out. Did that about a month ago, and my daughter, she came in there. She's like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "Burning." It was funny. It was like permeating the whole house, man. It's there, man. It'll let you know there's some heat.
Yeah, I bet. Boy, this dang dog, you guys don't know, but it ain't a kid. But it might as well be a kid. We bought a Great Dane, and this sucker's grown like a weed, man. God almighty, like 30 pounds now. He ain't but gonna be 12 weeks old, I think.
So I think it was. I can't even remember the last time I was on here. I don't know if I spoke about the trolling motor I put on my kayak or not, but you know how you whenever you
never forget.
Reaching for it. I've been so busy that I still haven't even put my numbers on the kayak. I haven't. The trolling motor's sitting over there on the floor in the office. I have not had the kayak out. I have my stickers. I haven't even put the stickers on that sucker yet. But one of these days, I will get back out there. For those of you that I don't know if I told y'all about it or not, but I put a 30-pound Minn Kota on it. And by the way, I have that extra battery. If you're going to do one for yours, you can use however long you need to.
Eventually, yeah. I mean, that was my plan eventually.
It's been in the truck, and I forgot. I got my truck out of the shop. Oh! I got my truck out of the shop the other day, and like every single cool pack on the truck was just shot. And I don't work on new stuff, so I figured I'd turn it in. They also found a bunch of other problems and whatnot. But anyway, I got my truck back, and I went to clean it out, and I found another huge 75 amp hour deep cycle battery in the back that I forgot that was back there. So I got one sitting over here on the floor, and Rooster, you're welcome to use that other one whenever you need.
Right on.
And, that'll just save you some money on the get-go.
Dude, you were talking about not being able to get out on the kayak. I can't say much more. Like, I've had that out once. I mean, that's it.
It'll happen.
It was me and Benny actually went out. We didn't catch darn thing. I had a couple hits, but that was it. A bankfish since then, I believe.
I'm glad that you mentioned whenever y'all went to Mineral Wells, you said that whenever y'all went up in that creek, up in the channel up there, that there's a lot of timber and there's a lot of stuff right on the water. And that's probably a good thing that I haven't been out there, because when I was going to go out there, I was going to put my trolling motor on.
Dude,
and
shallow up there before that entrance of it.
I mean, I think I could probably make do as long as I was in 18 inches, 2 foot of unobstructed water.
Yeah.
But the way you made it sound, it's probably a good thing I didn't.
Well, you know how murky that water is. You can't hardly see anything anyhow.
Oh, dude, yeah. I mean,
we were. It was kind of like when we went to Graham that time. We were going over logs. You wouldn't know it until you.
well, the worst thing that I've experienced, get some more apple juice here. Worst thing that I've experienced was out at Tucker Lake. I was on the old Tamarack, and I probably told this story before, but it was a really windy day. I bet it was probably 15, 20 mile an hour wind, and I'm broadside to the wind. Excuse me. I'm broadside of the wind, and it's pushing me. And Tucker Lake, of course, is a man-made lake, and there was a stump about that far below the water, or about that big around. I'm getting pushed broadside, and I'm facing this way. I'm going that way. I'm fishing, and all of a sudden, boom! It hits me, dude. I almost flip, and I'm probably up around that first bend towards the creek. How far away from shore do you think that is? Probably 1,500, 2,000 feet?
Yeah, it's a good ways.
It's a good ways. So, I wasn't going to fall off because my backside had a firm grip of my seat. So,
that great stability those Tamaracks have, I know, I understand.
I'm telling you. But, yeah, so, whenever you hit things underwater that you don't know are there in a kayak, it doesn't matter how experienced you are, it's still going to scare you, That's like, for example, like in our line of work, we're out there, we have to use front end loaders, and we have to push up this huge brush pile at work. And right now, this brush pile, if we were to light it, you could probably see it from about 3 or 4 galaxies away because that thing is huge. But whenever you're pushing brush, sometimes whenever you go to push that brush up, a log will roll down and get onto the loader tire. I don't care if you've been running heavy equipment for 50 years. The log rolls under that tire and it throws you off. Dude, you're getting scared.
Every time.
Every time.
I'm not trying to get excited. But I wish you could have seen that day, Oscar. I had him.
Goose.
Pulling out a roll-off dumpster or something, and that sucker was full. He did that, and that back of the loader came up 2-3 foot off the ground. His eyes were this big around.
And he just stopped, didn't he? I bet he just stopped. That's funny.
I seen we had a couple. We got some crappie biting this year. Bullet says
6-pound bass on a 2-inch jig.
Oh, it's 50-degree weather there in central Pennsylvania.
Oh well. Lucky for y'all.
AJ, that's my brother there. He's old peckerhead.
50-degree there in Pennsylvania. Well, next 2 days we're going to be in the hundreds down here in Texas. But tell you what, before we get too far away, I think one of our sponsors wants to say something. If you have that on there, I don't know if you do or not. Are we doing ads this time?
Do what?
Are we doing ads this time?
Yeah, we probably should have got in mind. We're already at that point, ain't we?
Yeah. I figure we'll just do that, the main one, not the aquatic one. Gotcha. Yeah, gotcha.
All right, man.
Hey, y'all. I wanted to take a moment to tell you guys about one of our sponsors. Not only are they one of our sponsors, but they are an incredible American company, and they sell fire starting gear. The name of this company is Bigfoot Bushcraft. Now, this stuff works exactly as it is advertised. You take one of those plugs, expose the fibers, one strike with that ferro rod, you got yourself a flame. A decent flame at that. And this flame will burn for 5 minutes or more. So you get that thing put on your tinder, and that's more than enough time to get yourself a sustainable fire. So be sure to head on over to bigfootbushcraft.com. Use discount code WileyRoosterBoys, all one word, at checkout for 15% off your order. And every order placed with our discount code helps support our show. So get on over there, get you some gear, and get you a fire.
I never get tired of that ad.
I know, right?
I like it a lot. But it just reminds me of I don't know if we can really go into what we talked about the other day concerning Bigfoot. What you said you would the other day. The sheep foot.
Yeah, I mean, we could, but
well,
why not? Why not? It's a finale. I mean,
and it's an outdoors thing, The sponsor, of course, is Bigfoot Bushcraft, but let's talk about Bigfoot. You've alluded to Bigfoot before. You told a story one time alluding to Bigfoot.
I did. It was more my wife, but it wasn't me. So, but yes,
Right.
it does.
Well, you know what I wonder? Bigfoot, that thing, is a North American folklore. You look it up. You look it up on anything, and you look it up on anything, and it says Bigfoot is a North American folklore.
Hey, Bullets, he's good. That's my brother. I'm giving him a hard time.
If this thing was real, and I'm not a Bigfooter. I'm also not a anti-Bigfooter. He could exist. He could just be really good at hide and seek. But if this sucker was real, why wouldn't he be anywhere, or why wouldn't they be anywhere else other than North America? That's my question. Because you look it up, you don't see Bigfoot stories anywhere else in the world, and I could be wrong. I don't know, but why don't you, you know?
All right, we're gonna start from the beginning because
Oh, I
in my younger days when they
Where's
used
my
to
mute
Wilder-
button?
Huh?
I got to mute.
Okay. In my wilder days, we were all young and dumb, whatever. I could believe some of these stories. No, I don't know about believe. I could entertain the idea.
Entertain.
We started talking about, was it Charles brought up,
Flat Earth.
yeah, flat Earth. That's what it was, and I was like, no, not at all. Anyhow, that went on to the Bigfoot thing. I can't remember what the TV show was. It was something
Okay.
about Bigfoot. There was a bunch of those shows on. I don't remember which one it was. But there was a guy who had no problem getting on national television talking about it. He was out in the woods, and this female Bigfoot,
A she-foot, as it were.
knocked him down, and, lack of better words, had her way with him. And from my understanding, this wasn't only the first time.
I didn't hear that part. That wasn't the first time. So, what is this fella doing to put him in the position for that to happen multiple times?
He's wearing that new du jour cologne, I think.
Oh well, that's understandable. That's irresistible. Okay, that explains it. Okay, here's my deal with it. If this thing is real, you have. Now, I'm not poking fun because I'm a hillbilly myself. I'm a redneck. I'm country. I'm not very literate. I don't talk with them good old words like a lot of folk do. But you have all these people that can barely string a sentence together talking about, I seen it. He come up and he stole my truck, and stuff like that. And let's say this thing is real. Who's going to believe that? Because you have these people that are, three sheets to the wind on the news talking about how it stole their sister or something like that. You can't believe that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Any kind of valid claims are immediately dismissed because of the people who sound crazy.
Right.
But I don't know.
I'm usually pretty open-minded, dude, because I've seen some things not really, I still can't explain, we've talked about that, but
Well,
I'm with you. How do you, how do you prove it? There's that, I was telling you guys about it. It happened, I believe it was Russia, and I don't know, I think it was World War I is what they were saying, but they found that, I don't know, for lack of a better word, caveman. That old boy, some guy was living in the cave, came charging out at them, and they got him down.
Oh, wow.
That was a real
Well, to what I was saying a minute ago, I was saying that you don't hear about this other than North America. The Mister Outdoors, the Yeti in the Himalayas. Okay, you're right. Now that comes to mind, that does ring a bell. So I guess that kind of blows that out of the water. But there's a picture.
Louisiana has I can't remember what Louisiana calls theirs. It's like something monkey or something like that. I can't remember.
Well, let's see if I can bring this. There it is.
I can't remember.
You guys, anybody who thinks about Bigfoot, remember this picture?
Oh, absolutely.
Everybody knows that picture. Well, That was from 1967. It was from a guy named Roger Patterson, and something Grimley.
Right there.
All right, something like Roger Patterson and something Grimley. I don't know. But for the longest time, I think Patterson died in like 1978 or 72 or something. But for the longest time, that was believed to be true. And then I heard that the Grimley guy, he came out years later and said, "Nah, that was just one of our buddies wearing a suit." And so, that was immediately dismissed. However, now I just now looked it up earlier. Like I say earlier, like the other day, I looked it up, and there's nothing about the admission of that being fake. So you can do that with pretty much any conspiracy theory you can think of. You will find crap that you can verify. You're like, well, dadgum, that sounds pretty true. I think that there was a third shooter on the grassy knoll, Or you find this other stuff that you're like, man, that's stupid.
Right.
So what do you do? And it's not. I would say that a lot of people don't even actually believe. The believers, I don't believe a lot of them actually believe. What I think is that a lot of them just it's fun. It's fun to think about this kind of stuff. It's fun to study into it. It's entertaining.
Yeah. Absolutely, man.
But you do have like Gigantopithecus and what I wrote it down. Paranthropus. Those are two bodies that they found that could be evidence of Bigfoot. But as I was telling you the other day, they're saying that that's the missing link. If that's the case, then why do we still have monkeys or apes? Why do we still have those? However, they did have those orangutans over there and wherever they were they were spearfishing. So that's wild to me.
Dude, I seen a little clip actually today. It was from the Rogan podcast. He was talking to Tyson about it, but there's like a chimpanzee that they called the lion killer, I think he said. These things stand like 5-6 foot tall, 300 pounds.
A chimp?
It's like a subspecies of chimp that they've kind of recently found, I guess.
I ain't messing with no chimps. The chimps will eat your face off.
Nah. Yeah, dude. You'd be done. You'd be done for sure.
But the top 5 states for Bigfoot sightings: Washington has 704, California has 458, Florida has 336, Illinois has 302, and Oregon has 258 sightings to date.
Yeah.
My question is this: Washington and Oregon are bordered, correct? Am I good at geography? Those are right there. You have 704 sightings in Washington State and only 258 in Oregon. I don't know. That was peculiar to me. I mean, you take that for what it is, but we're chasing rabbits here. Yeah. So,
Except the hook says Bigfoot got some good fishing spots though.
I bet you're right. He's
right.
He's a world champion at hide and seek.
That's right.
This guy has some Bigfoot information on YouTube. People write it into him about their experience with Bigfoot. I bet that guy that got some loving from Bigfoot talked to that guy.
I'm telling you, I will never forget that story. That was.
Well, I need to see that video.
I'll look for it. I'll try to look for it maybe this evening, and I'll send it to you. I think it was on the Discovery Channel or something, because it was one of those main Bigfoot.
It reminds me of. I'm sure you and everybody else has seen Monsters Inc. And on Monsters Inc. whenever something happened, it was towards the earlier part of the movie. And they were interviewing with this one monster, and he's like, "She picked me up with her mind powers and shook me like a dog." To me, the people who say things like that are that guy.
Right.
It's funny. You pick the most hillbilly guy who has a vocabulary of like 14 words, and you put him on the news. It just cracks me up, man.
It's crazy. It really is crazy. Speaking of fish, did I tell you what I'm targeting now?
Gar.
Yeah.
Gar. Yeah.
A lot of people are like, man, there's people out there like, I've never caught one.
If you cook it, I want some.
Dude, I'm going to try cooking it. I really am.
And you should use some of this.
Absolutely. Absolutely, dude. I don't know. I'll probably do a little bit of both. I'll probably just do some pan fried, and then I'll try to batter or something. I just want to try it. Why not? I mean, they're plentiful around here. Why not try it?
Oh, man, I'm telling you. Well, the other day, we were somewhere.
and we had to do some work down around the river, and we had some downtime, and I had a rod and reel with me because that's what you do. You keep a rod and reel with you whenever you're out and about places, and so I went down there, and I'm telling you, man, there was gar a few feet from us. I mean, there was probably, what do you think, 20, 30 of them right there, ranging in size from this big to huge. And the first one I hooked, he bit, and I'm reeling him in, and I'm trying to get him in, and then he gets about, what do you think? You were down there about 20 foot from the bank, and then he spit it, and I almost hooked you whenever he spit it.
Yeah, he did.
And then I kept on going. I went around some rocks and whatnot, and then I ended up foul hooking one in the belly, and I have that picture. I'm sorry that I don't have these pictures to show up on the screen. I have them on my phone, but let's see here if I can find it. There he is. Never mind the shirt. But, he wasn't a big guy. You can't really focus in on that. But
yeah,
he wasn't a big guy.
But from what I understand, it's pretty hard to get them on a traditional hook,
Man, I was trying, and they're aggressive, man.
From what I've read, people say they'll use hooks, but they're not necessarily catching them in the mouth. They let them get after it for a while to where they swallow it, then they'll pull them in.
So there's no way around killing them.
Yeah, and that's what I'm like. But the thought process is, which is just like if you hook a bass or bluegill or whatever, most of those hooks aren't stainless or nothing, and they eventually rust and fall out.
Right.
Is the thought process. But
well,
do we really know? I don't know.
And I'm sure a lot of people are going to jump on me for this, but to me, gar are an invasive species. I want to say that's what they're classified as, is it not? They're very invasive.
Maybe some species. I know the alligator gar ain't. I don't
know. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong.
Because out of all the gar species in Texas, that's the only one, from my understanding, that has a limit. Only certain places will let you catch more. But for the most part, like actually the Trinity River, set the hook this, put that Trinity River has giant gar. From my understanding, I want to say that Trinity River is it's a lottery system, if I'm not mistaken, or something.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, my thought on it is,
it may not be lottery, it may be seasonal. But like if you just went to the Brazos, you're only allowed one alligator gar a day. That's it, and you have to report it to game warden.
That's bizarre to me.
Yeah,
I'm probably wrong.
All of them, there's no limit on them. So
I'm probably wrong on them being an invasive species, but I thought they were, because I thought they come in and they just wreck beds and whatnot. But to me, and I'm not saying I'm going to go out and just intentionally trying to catch as many as I can just to kill them. No, but there's a lot of people out there that I had a friend of mine that I've known for a long time. He is like this huge activist for gar. He thinks that I think he I don't remember how he caught them, but he did some humane way of catching them and releasing them just because he thought they were such a beautiful fish. And that's fine, to each their own. But something like that comes in and just it seemingly wrecks an ecosystem. I don't see a problem with culling the herd at all. Yeah. And you were talking about eating them. I've never had gar, but I'm very interested in having it because, like I've said before, there's very few meats that I won't try.
Yeah. Well, actually, that one you caught, that was a long nose, so we could have kept that one.
Oh, really?
There's no limit. It's only alligator gar.
No kidding.
That are kind of protected. That's what I was saying. I think alligator gar are native. You potentially could be right about the invasive species when it comes to the spotted, the long nose, the short. But the short nose, I think they said it's only in the God Almighty, Red River.
Let's see.
By Texarkana.
Our friend Google will let us know.
And to reiterate, set the hook. That was just for alligator gar on the Trinity. And don't quote me. I can't remember if it was lottery or if it was seasonal. I can't remember. There was something about it.
Okay, this says they are primarily river dwellers, and they like Texas rivers. They are suffering from human-induced changes. That's a terrible sentence. Once common in the U.S. throughout the large rivers that drain into the Gulf of Mexico, they are now increasingly rare
although still doing okay now, parts in Texas and Louisiana. Still doing okay. They need to come to Pelican County. Dadgum.
Because in Nebraska we had gar. I don't recall seeing many of them, but I think they were just the long nose. We didn't have none like the alligator, but we just had the long nose.
Well, you were talking about catching them and cooking them. I definitely want to try some. I would try
They
gar.
remind me of northern pike. The video I watched, like, because a pike has that kind of a Y shaped, the way it's spinal and the ribs and everything. You got to flay a pike kind of like the same way. It's like a Y.
Never caught a pike.
That's how the gar are. You make an incision on either side of the spinal cord down its back, and you just go down and then follow the ribs out.
Okay. Well, I remember when I was a kid, 20 years ago, I was really big into watching those outdoor shows, the fishing shows and stuff like that. I remember I was in the first time I ever heard about a northern pike, the first time I'd ever seen one, I was in Cincinnati, Ohio. Forgive me for that. But I was in Cincinnati. I was at a friend's house, and I was watching some fishing shows, and these guys were out there catching northern pike. And I was like, man, that thing looks like a dadgum demon. What is that thing? But from that moment on, I wanted to catch one. But, it's been 20 years later, and I haven't had the opportunity. So maybe one of these days.
One of these days, yeah. They're absolutely fun. I'd recommend it. The muskie's the one I've never caught.
Isn't that the fish with isn't that what they call the fish of 10,000 casts?
Yes, sir. That's the one.
It is.
We have a big lake back home, and it was my dad's buddy. He was the only person my whole life I ever seen catching a muskie out of there. But they were there, but he was the only one I ever seen catch one. And it's pretty cool. But
that must have been his 10,001st cast. So that must have been his 10,001st cast.
Yeah. Well, we were out there waiting, casting out because the white bass were spawning over there, and we were catching the dog at a white bass. But
well, that's like whenever Rachel and I went on our honeymoon. We're backwoods people, all right? Hey, backwoods. But we are, we're outdoors folk. Our honeymoon, we actually went on a guided fishing trip, and that was one of the things we did. And we caught our limit in sand bass in, I think it was like an hour and a half, 25 a piece, and that was because we were taking breaks in between. But I'm not down in guides and guide services because that's a lot of fun. And getting on schools of fish is a lot of fun. But I'm going to step on some toes here. Forgive me, y'all. When you go out there and you get on a school and then, that school moves and then you just track it and you go get on that school again and then you go track it and get on that school again. To me, it's fun. Don't get me wrong. But it kind of takes some of the sportsmanship out of it whenever you're tracking them like that. And if you're doing it so you can take them home like we were, by all means, absolutely do that. But the sportsmanship of it is something that I enjoy, and that may just be me. And I'm sure there's a lot of you out there that are the same way. But I say that. I like casting out there not knowing if I'm going to get something.
yeah.
But whenever you're watching these suckers on the screen, you're like, all right, give it four pulls on the reel. Boom, there he is.
Yeah.
That kind of takes a lot of the sportsmanship out of it. That's
Right.
kind of like hunting these high fence ranches, and
Right.
that's a whole nother story that we won't even get into. But
Yeah, I get what you're saying, dude. That's how it was with the walleye back home. When they would spawn, they'd spawn on the dam, and it was nothing but like, we call them jumper jacks, but like big concrete jack looking things and big old rocks and stuff. It just riff raff that on the dam for erosion. But we'd walk our butt. I mean, bunches of people would walk their butts down there, and then walleye would spawn back and forth across there. Well, them old females, they're just swimming along, I don't know, 4 foot, 5 foot from the shore. They'd have a bunch of males, and you cast out a rapala, and they just try to chase it and get it out of there. And
it's Rapala.
And 70% of the time, you weren't catching them legally; you were snagging them. And but it's completely legal. Not the snagging part. You're supposed to throw those back. But I get what you're saying because my old man said it, and I agree with him. I was out there catching them just like everybody else, but I agree with him. He was like, that's a little too easy. Like, they should probably stop doing that.
Yeah.
But me and him both were still out there. It was illegal, so we were going to still do it.
But by all means, if you're doing it just to get the meat, and I know that this is against Texas Parks and Wildlife, but to me, foul hooking, if you're doing it for the meat, do you. I mean,
yeah. Well,
but
I ain't going to say I took foul hooks,
Yeah, of course. And that was like I watched a YouTube video about a year ago, and there was this guy. It was from KBF. He was doing a tournament for KBF, and he was also filming a YouTube video. And I wonder if he did this because he was filming for his YouTube video, or he did it because he was an ethical person. But the reason I think that is because he had foul hooked this huge bass. I'm talking this sucker was probably, I say huge, but maybe 6 or 7 pounds. He foul hooked him.
Still a big fish.
Right, great fish. He foul hooked him, and what he did is, yeah, you're absolutely right. What he did was he brought it in, and then he noticed he foul hooked it. So he called the boss man that was running the tournament. He's like, "Hey man, I foul hooked this bass. Is it legal?" And he's going on. About 15, 20 minutes later, the guy calls him back and says, "No, he's not." So he did the ethical thing in terms of what he should or should not do in the tournament, and he dropped that fish from his we'll call it bag, and that was the right thing to do in my mind, because whenever you're fishing tournaments, foul hooks should not count. Period. Whether it be just the ones that you're not videoing or anything like that, or be the ones that are videoed, it doesn't matter. Ethics are important. Integrity. What's the definition of integrity? Doing the right thing whenever nobody's looking.
Yep, I agree. I guess, man, you want to take this last break and make somebody a winner or what?
Let's do it.
All right, guys. Let me get to this page here, and we'll be right back.
So I want to take a second to talk about Anchor. Have you guys ever wanted to discuss certain topics with people on a broad scale, but you don't really know how? Well, that's where Anchor comes in. It is a podcast app that is 100% free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or the computer, whichever you prefer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever else has podcasts. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. You just record, upload, Anchor will distribute it, and should you monetize it, you get paid for it. It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. So be sure to check out the App Store, download the free Anchor app, or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Did you add that music to that ad? That's awesome.
Yeah.
You did that?
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
I did that right about the time you had to leave.
I like that. That's pretty good. I thought the last time that I thought it was just silence behind it. That's good, man.
Yeah, it was a booger when we first started. We had a bunch of new stuff, when we started the season. It looked kinks that work out. Yeah.
To that point, starting the season, guys, I do want to let y'all know that Rooster, if you're going to keep going, more power to you. That's awesome. But I am probably going to still be, taking the back seat and doing the family thing for a while. I'll be back. I know I will be. It's just, like I said before, family comes first, and I want to make sure that, everything's taken care of here, and my boys are getting a good raising. So I don't know when I'll be back, or when I'll be back to YouTube or anything like that, but I know I will be.
Absolutely. And, for the fact of the show, I'm still going to try to keep it going. Hopefully, here and there, maybe you can carve out some time, come pay us a visit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't know quite yet. Still got to work out how we're going to continue going. Obviously, I'm not the best by myself. I might need a coach, for some.
Well, for those of you listening or watching, Rooster and I had discussed earlier that the show may change. You want to go into this, or do you want to wait?
Go ahead.
Whenever, actually, no, I have not. They're 5 months old. I haven't bought them he said, "Did you buy them kids a fishing rod yet?" Not yet, but I will. But there's only so much that you can talk about and be consistent with the outdoor life, especially with my and maybe with Rooster's. We have a pretty good working knowledge of the stuff that we do, but still that only goes so far. And getting guests on the show is not always easy, schedules and stuff like that. So what we had talked about is, while the show will remain based in outdoors, hunting, fishing, stuff like that, bushcraft, we may branch out, and it may end up becoming a just BS session about anything. But while still we want to stick to our roots and remain an outdoor podcast, but sometimes we may, chase a rabbit and go this way or another way. But just have fun, interact with our viewers. Maybe some of our viewers are interested in other things too, and maybe we can help cater to them as well. So, I mean, if you're good with that, I'm good with that. We can just make this.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm kind of in the same boat with you. There's only so much you can go over bass fishing. Originally that's kind of how we started. It's just.
Well, that was like our first season.
Season after season, eventually.
Our first season, we tried to stick to nothing but bass fishing, and then we realized, man, there's only so much you can do.
That out quick, I mean.
And then we upped it to just outdoors, and we have talked. And there's going to be people out there that can be like, "Oh, y'all haven't talked about everything." And no, you're absolutely right, we haven't. But in our knowledge of what we do and what we're able to do with our time and skill level, my skill level, man, I'm an amateur. So I can't sit here and try to tell you this is the way you should do things. This is how you do things. I can't give video after video of instructional things. I just want to have fun with it. I just want to go out there and do fun things. And, my life is largely based on the outdoors, but I am interested in other things as well. Whether it be politics, current events, just stories of life. It doesn't have to be outdoors. So maybe we can branch out and just talk about anything.
Yeah, like you said, we'll still keep our roots.
Yes. But I know that if we get into politics in the future, I know that there's going to be some problems. And, that thing right there is probably going to be a source of a lot of conflict for a lot of folks out there. But I'm going to go ahead and put it out there. I'm voting for Trump in 24. I'm just going to put that out there. Hate me if you want to.
Well, we got that out of the way, I guess. It's been long overdue. Let's you ready to do this giveaway?
We're only about, I did the math earlier, we're about 4 weeks late. 3 weeks late. 3 weeks late. Yeah. So, I mean, that's not terrible. But
Bullets likes the bullshit.
Hold on. That's all right. I'm not dogging on you, man. But I do find it funny that earlier you said watch the language, and now you just said that. I'm just going to put that out there. That was funny.
Yeah, but look at nowadays. That's more PG-13 still.
Agreed.
Technically, you could get the first one. You get one of those in PG-13 nowadays, though.
That's true.
Isn't that crazy?
It is.
I remember you go to the theater, and you didn't look old enough. They're like, "Where's your parents' note?" Rated R movie and shit.
Well, to that point, I remember going to see Titanic in theaters, right? Titanic was PG-13. And all of us that have seen Titanic, what's Caitlin Winslet do?
Yeah.
She shows everything, and it was PG-13. And that just goes to show you what, we're not going to get into that right now. Yeah. But let's make somebody a winner.
All right, man. Bear with me while I get this wheel pulled up here. How did you do it? Did you do a entire screen?
I don't remember, man. I've been out of the loop so long that I don't remember how to do this. There we go.
Can you see it good? Because I can't see you good.
Yeah, I can. It looks pretty good. Let's make somebody a winner.
All right. Where's the spin button there? Click the spin. All right. Are you guys ready?
Let's do it. Come on. Joe, you were so close.
So close. Candy Robertson.
Let me write that down. Candy Robertson. All right, Candy, this is what we need from you. We're going to get Rooster. What did we say?
Apologize. Go ahead. Repeat that. I remember the wrong thing.
24 or 48 hours. What did you say? I don't remember.
I think originally I said 24.
24. Tell you what, if you're good with it, let's give it till Monday.
Do what?
If you're good with it, let's give it until Monday.
All right.
Candy Robertson, shoot us an email, wileyroosterboys@gmail.com. That's all one word, wileyroosterboys@gmail.com. Give me your information, mailing address, stuff like that. We don't want to put that stuff out here for everybody to see. Nobody needs to see that. But shoot us your information, and we'll get that sent out to you. However, Monday by noon.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Is that fair?
Yeah.
So if you have not contacted us Monday by noon, we're going to draw again.
Absolutely.
And make somebody else a winner.
Absolutely.
But
we got old Bullets in there. I know he was on there.
Absolutely. Okay, so let me write this down.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if, by chance we do have to respin, I mean, if you're not available, that's fine. I'll probably just hop on just for a few minutes just to do a spin.
Yeah, absolutely. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, that's how we'll do that. We'll get that sent out to you. And also, I'm going to send some other stuff along with the combo. We'll call it a mystery box. I'm going to send along with the combo because, you need other stuff to go with it, right?
That's right. It's got to be a sweet rod and reel.
I'm actually thinking about buying one for myself. That I don't know why, but it looks. I don't know. It's nice. It's a very attractive reel or combo.
I like it. I like it a lot. And it was sure good to have you back on, though.
Absolutely. I'll try to cut out time and come back for next season. This has been fun. I've enjoyed being back. It's been, 3 months?
We got both of us on here.
It's been, I don't know, 3 or 4 months since I've been here.
But like I said, it goes without saying, we all understand. I mean, you got to do what you got to do. That's more
absolutely.
important. So
yeah,
people understand that. So
yeah, but all right, man. If you want to end this here, then we can do that there. Like we said, Candy Robertson, shoot us an email with your information, and we will get that sent out to you as soon as we possibly can.
Congratulations. That's great. Now you just gotta get a hold of us.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, man. Well, it's good seeing you and everybody. Appreciate you stopping in, and we'll catch you on season 4.
We'll see y'all.
You have been listening to the Wiley Rooster Boys podcast. We appreciate your support. God bless.